everybody to this Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 2 review. Before I get into what I did and didn't enjoy the game, I'll quickly mention my stats for this season. I feel like I played the game a lot less this season, and going off Fortnite Tracker, I did actually play a lot less than normal. I normally play about 300 games, I only played 130 games, and they were all in solo. 129 in solo, 1 squads. I normally play a lot of random squads and duos. It's what I do to work on my anxiety. Talking to new people you don't know. It's a great way. I've found the community to be quite good, really, with it. There's been no abuse or anything like that, so in that way it's great. And for my wins this season, I got 13. Which is actually up on previous seasons, but at the same time down on last season. Last season I got 19 wins, this season I got 13 wins, but still a 10% win record for someone who doesn't admit to being a good player. I'm very below average player, so 13 wins is quite good for me, and obviously they were all in solos. I got 537 kills this season, or eliminations. Quite happy with that, with an average of 4.5 kills eliminations per game, which means that I was trying my hardest to get some eliminations. But again, I think eliminations, especially when you're a lower level player, I wonder what percentage of them were actually real players. So we're going to get into this game now, and I'm going to start off straight away with the bat. I think this was the OP weapon of the season for me personally, and kind of almost the must carry. Trying to compete against someone who's got a bat was really hard, and it's been the same for the last couple of seasons. If you've had, say, a sword or stuff like that, it's been really hard to counteract that. Obviously every season they do try and put in a counter. It's normally, this season there was the rocket ram and stuff like that, so you could escape, but for me the bat was overpowered, and I do use it in this game, as you'll see. I use it a lot. Obviously they added Sub-Zero and Scorpion mythics or weapons. The Sub-Zero one was great for a little bit of mobility, and obviously in close quarter fights it really was a bit of a toss-up. If you're against someone with a bat and you had Sub-Zero, I think for me 83% of the time if I had a bat I won. I'm sure other people might have different results from me. As for the Scorpion mythic, obviously that was brought into the game mid-season along with a couple of Mortal Kombat POIs. Obviously from the more original Mortal Kombats, they had the sort of pit, which was, I think, in Mass Meadows, which was quite nostalgic, and obviously if you stepped in it you lost a little bit of damage. On my regions video you see me trying to take out Scorpion on 300 ping with a business turret, which didn't fare too well. I did try it out on normal ping against Scorpion within like the forest area, and it took him down so quickly. So if you're still playing the game up to the end of the season, which this video will be released on the Thursday, and obviously Thursday the 1st, and obviously the 2nd the new season will be out, so you'll have a little bit of time to see what you think about that. As to things like the ARs and stuff this season, I did like the twin mag coming back, and I love the AUG. I found the AUG really great. especially for somebody who's not got the best aim. You can get 2-3 bullets to hit, you know, good damage, and then just run in with your bat, really. The classical damage AR was spam central, kind of like a little bit like, I can't remember which season it was, but it had the P90 and it was just SMG spam, and it was absolutely possible to build against. I know how to build, and obviously I have speed build on because I'm here on PlayStation, but it's still hard to deal with. And for some point here, I may as well go into this now as I'm trying to do it. Challenges this season. Challenges this season were pretty boring. There's nothing specific you had to do. It was a lot to do with just damage, and obviously here what I'm trying to do is get one of the challenges done. I would like a few more random challenges. I really enjoyed the fort bites back in chapter 1. I really found that really interesting, and those little puzzles for some of them. More stuff like that, more stuff where you have to solve a puzzle would be really good. You see, there's the business turret right there. Obviously, as I mentioned with the challenges this season, we had the keycard. Obviously, the keycard challenge. I don't think at this point of this time when I'm recording this that I'd actually got the final keycard. I have now, and obviously, if you're against players who pretty much straight off the bat got all that done, they can get a little bit of mythic exotic straight away, which I found was a little bit unfair. As you can see here, I am actually checking the weekly challenges and stuff like that. So if you were the type of player who would look, see what you got to do and get it done quickly, you were a big advantage. And again, I don't think it was fair, but at the same time, it's very smart. So if you're, especially if you're a competitive player, that key card came in use. I've seen obviously a lot of I've actually watched a lot of competitive Fortnite this season, and the actual fight to get the mythics and stuff like that were very vital. So I wonder what they're going to do obviously in the next season. It will be Star Wars. Will we go back to lightsabers and that being the meta? I would have liked this season an event a little bit like Godzilla. I think that really drew me in last season. I think it's very important to have stuff like that in the game, because it also attracts casual players, which is what you really want to do. I know you've got to sort of aim to please your regular fan base, but at the same time bringing new players with Godzilla. I think that was the reason I played more previous season, was because of Godzilla. You had that thing to try and get, could you be Godzilla? Obviously the challenges that came with Godzilla. As for the battle pass this season, nothing blew me away. I wasn't overly hyped about it. So I get the battle pass every season. I have since Chapter 1 Season 8. If some older players may remember that, I think it was the end of Chapter 7, I may be incorrect here, or Chapter 8, that those missions to do and you got a free battle pass. So that's what I did. I got the free battle pass, and since then I've got a battle pass every season, because if you're smart, you'll notice that you can get 1,500 V-Bucks within the battle pass. battle pass is less than that, 950, 900. So you can save enough to get a battle pass every season, and then every couple of seasons after that, you know, get yourself the battle pass, get yourself a skin. I know there's a lot of pressure for people to go, oh, you've not got this skin, you've not got that skin, but you can still play this game for free. And that's, I think, important, because I'm a budget gaming channel, so any stuff I've got is either gifts or I hope to have face cam in the next couple of days of this video being released, where I've sold some hockey jerseys and stuff I've got just to get a second-hand camera. Now we'll go on to the vaults as we're here. I thought the vaults were a really good addition again. Obviously you can collect your gold, so much more gold. I like the sort of mini game here with the vaults. So obviously you've got different waves of, and see, this is the business turret doing some good work here while I'm away fighting other people. I would have actually liked maybe a mythic in one of the vaults, but obviously you've got a couple of rare chests here, some dill bits, plenty of gold, so then you'd go to the black market and see what you to get. And surprisingly I don't pick up the og here, but I do get my dill bits. Yeah, I think obviously I'm not sure what they'll do next season with vaults and stuff like that, because as many of you have mostly seen the map already, there is Crime City and stuff like that is still there, so I'm not sure if the vaults will be there. Only going to be a 30-day season next season, so we'll see what happens there. Okay, and we've got the scanner there. Enjoyed the scanners this season. I don't think it picked up players as easy as previous scanning items like a flare gun and stuff like that. I love the flare gun, but obviously there's a bit more of a high-tech heist season, so the flare gun wouldn't have really worked here. I definitely found this season again there was still a problem with cars. A lot of final zones on build or zero build, we still had a lot of people in cars. It's just failed. They did decrease the amount of cars, which did help, but the final couple of circles was normally 2 or 3 players in cars and then 2 people in trying to normally play. But again, it's not it's not about how you win, it's if you win. Obviously here I've not picked up any mythics or exotics. I thought the exotics were really good fun this season. If any of you have seen my video of me with the exotic rocket launcher, I just failed miserably. I completely forgot how to use anything, and I just yeeted myself into the zone and died. Because it was nice to see the drum gun back. It's not as OP as it was in Chapter 2, not even close. But still, again, the mythics and the exotics. The exotics are there for fun more than anything else. I would have liked to have seen maybe some new mythic weapons rather than obviously Minus and Brutus, because I thought Brutus had gone after being eaten by a shark. But what do I know? I think that's the thing, but I'm not exactly sure where the story's going. Storyline wise, I think the original season you knew exactly what it is, all to do with the 0 point. This season, obviously, they've mentioned shards of the 0 point, and that's what's bringing in new bad guys, so to speak, and that's how they can change the season up each season. And obviously with the mask makers this year, this season chapter, it's sort of added to that. But I still think they need to focus on a single point for people, because some people do really enjoy the story. Obviously Jonesy, the 0 points, obviously in previous chapters it has solely focused on the 0 point, yet this chapter completely, there's no real 0 point. There's a shard they mention, which is very loosey goosey for me for a storyline. And finally get my AR back after doing God knows what. I was definitely fascinated with opening everything this season to try and get the XP. And I think I'll go on to now what I expect from the Star Wars season. Performance wise, for me, it's only a 30-day season. I'm going to be happy if I get one win. I think Star Wars abilities and stuff like that are going to play a major part on winning and losing next season. And I think if you haven't got one of them, you're not going to really stand much chance of getting a victory royale. Do I think it'll be fun? Yes. If you're a Star Wars fan, great. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Maybe not Jar Jar, but you'll love the fact that you do have obviously Star Wars involved for a month instead of just on a couple of weeks over May 4th. But I think you can look forward to it if you're a Star Wars fan. If you're not a Star Wars fan, you may not really enjoy the season. I'm wondering if this shorter season means that we won't get a remix season or a classic season as we lead into Chapter 7. Personally, I've played the original seasons and obviously the remix ones. I don't feel like they need to do Chapter 3. Let's try and focus on a proper storyline. Let's have a proper chapter finale live event. No concerts. no concerts with. I'm old. I'm old. I knew who Snoop Dogg was, but the others I just didn't know. And they're massive artists. They're absolutely massive artists. But for me, it was a no. I would have preferred a proper live interactive event where I could actually play along with it, not just watch a concert. But that's just my opinion. If you're a massive fan of the artist, you might have really loved it. Obviously, there was a rumour of maybe a little bit of a live event at the end of the season, leading into the Star Wars one. Obviously, the Death Star will appear at some point. I feel like, unless it's been mentioned, I've not watched anybody else's videos on what's coming for the Star Wars season. I've just seen the map and stuff like that. So I will be a cinematic at the start of next season where the Death Star appears. Well, I would like something at the end of this season. Obviously, this is being recorded on the Wednesday before the new season starts. So I think it might be too late for that, but I'm hoping they link it properly to the game rather than just, oh, here's a Star Wars season, give us your money, even though pretty much that's what it is. But be interested to see what the battle pass price is. Will they stick to the same price, especially with it being a shorter season? Might put some players off who are playing on a budget for getting this season because they would rather get a full battle pass season. And that's really it for my end of season review. Overall, an average season for me. Nothing spectacular. Didn't particularly love it. Didn't particularly hate it. Now let's see if we can get our last win of the season here. I don't think I'll be playing more after this game. I might record one more region video. Let's see if we can get to 14 wins this season. I'll do a little bit of commentary here. See, this is what I was talking about with the cars. I'm trying to take out that car up top. Bit of spam there by the person across from me. See, I do think those builds have added to something, especially if you're not a very strong builder and stuff like that. As you can see, as I mentioned, the bat is OP. I've got it in hand. I've got a shotgun, an AR, and some minis. So let's see what we can do from here. The armoured van is still going. I did forget to mention the armoured van. I love that they became earlier on, but it did freak me out the first time because obviously I have visual audio on as well. So I was like, oh my god, there's a car straight away, and just landed, and there's actually the armoured van. Especially in endgame, in previous seasons, they've sort of got rid of stuff like that. But I think it's quite fun to have it still in endgame. It's that little distraction that could get you the win, but also could get you the loss. And we're down to the final two here. I've got a bat in my hand. Obviously, I'm not thinking of anything else but to pin it with a bat, really. I'm trying to see him. Oh, not really looking where he is. So we rotated the zone. This is what it was the best for, really, rotation. Oh, a building, bat in hand, and fire my shotgun. Obviously, I could have done with some more meds there to get me above 150, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Okay, we're in the final zone here. Almost gonna see what we can do. And that's me dead. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.